Now you can go.
Okay. Let's call the meeting of the Valley Facilities Committee to order. And we have the airport, Wellington Ground, Whitley Measures, and the fire prevention building code. We'll begin with fire prevention building code. First of all, I'd like to ask for approval of the minutes from the previous meeting. Motion by Supervisor Stroud, second by Supervisor Diamond. Any discussion, questions, comments? If not, I'll call the question. All in favor? All right. Thank you very much. So we will begin with Mr. Williams. Okay. So action agenda, new business. 2024 proposed, but did you know the code? Sure. Did you do that?
Morning, everyone. Actually, there was minimal changes in the budget. We added a couple minimal amounts for travel and education, increased revenues. Accordingly, to what we felt we comfortably covered, we went through it with the budget team. They were doing discussions about any changes to what was proposed. Y'all have either reviewed it or want to take a few minutes to review it. I'll provide the answer to the questions before you, but like I said, the budget team was in that change.
I attended that meeting. I have no questions. Anyone?
The only other thing I have is under referral pending.
We need a.
I had a question.
Yes,
I'm
Supervisor McGowan.
on the budget now, but Charlie, thank you. Just like to know how we're doing, the replacement and your crew.
Well, yeah, actually, we kind of, that'll go with the referral pending as well, but we did replace. We did get a replacement. We ended up getting 5 applications. 3 of them, one was very good. 2 of them were so-so, and a couple were just that all. But we did replace the person that retired. He actually came from an internal in another direction. But was head and shoulders above the rest. He was actually doing very, very well. He starts in-service training in October, should be online in February. It takes almost 6 months to get that certification. And then we'll be the code enforcement officer. You can start those inspections, I believe, for November. But we did not, other than that, we did get 5 applications, but it seems to be in talking to other code enforcement offices, still an ongoing issue with getting applicants.
Well, I want to say you look a little bit more relaxed. So this was great to hear. I would like to put you as I think one of the top directors who were actually found someone right off the bat. Usually we try. So that's great news that you found someone and internally keep it in the county. And I'm glad to hear that you feel comfortable with it. So thank you. I'm sorry to jump you down on that.
Oh, no, it's okay.
I just wanted to make sure we were all budgeted.
Okay. In regards to referral and pending, there's been some ongoing discussion from even the last year, trying to offset the fact that there are multiple people in this department that at reaching that age where we can start aging out. We did have a few meetings. One with the town administrator, Chris, Jackie, Kevin came down. The one real way that we actually came up with to offset, to try to have people waiting to move into these positions was to establish a training or a intern type position. That's the one thing I'm still, Trish has done some work and sent me some literature on to what we can do to establish that. But that is the only concrete solution that we've come up with. Because like I said, there are 3 or 4 of us that are reaching that age, or we're gonna age out over the next year and a half. And certainly not having someone in position for this year, and again, this will happen in January of next year, will have affected the number of fund safety stuff. So, but that's the only concrete thing that we were able to come up with. It does mean, I think it's still in the work tool stage, the infancy stage of it, but it does obviously mean another position, benefit that with it. There's a couple of options that she discussed of how to set that up. But, ultimately, I guess it comes down to, you guys' decision, if that's what you think we want to move into at some point in 2024. But we do have another person slated to retire in January. So we basically right back into the same situation we were in this year. I did kind of drag my feet filling it because of the timing of when the state was going to offer the thing. So we saved, I don't know, probably 4 months worth of benefit package and salary. So it worked out very, very well in regards to that. But then I'm assuming I'll be able to do the same thing next year. But we're going to be basically short staffed.
Let me just interject, why did you set up a list like, people always set up a list of the employees and the anticipated date of retirement, but most of them are reluctant to give us to the date, and that's fine. It's important. We didn't set the list up. The list would have heightened and felt planning to know when a person is leaving, and we could set someone up prior to that, get them the requisite training, etc., certification. But that didn't work, but we'll do it.
Charlie, thank you. We talked about this before in committee. We knew we were having retirements coming up. I really appreciate you doing your due diligence and trying to space it out, to save the county some money, but otherwise, we're kind of reluctant on what the state is going to offer that. My concern would be for our attorney, what is our liability that we might have being shorthanded, especially in the fire inspections and that, and say there's something happens beyond, any control, comes to find out that it wasn't, inspected because we could have been short. I hate to put that on the record, what is the county's responsibility? How do is this something that we have to worry about? It's important to do these inspections, with the fire, but also with the home and what you do. Because I've seen a lot of work out there without, the inspectors. There's people that try to push the envelope. So, I'm worried about what is the county's reliability by doing this for the towns and, in the county. Robert, take it away.
Basically, there's a liability to the county if they can't do these inspections in a timely manner because county short-handed for people and they go to the inspection department. It's essentially a problem. So we'll take a look at that.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, just a little bit of a follow-up. I think that if you really start looking at other jurisdictions, I think everybody's in a very, very similar situation. And I think they all do the best they can with the resources they have. I think that even here, Bob Moon did our safety inspection for a long, long time when I first started under Mark. And then especially Karen brought in some part-time people. We had gotten up to a point where we were doing between 600 and 700 a year. I think we're at about 260 right now for this year. And still new people that are looking. But it's been really busy, with new permits and projects. So, to me, that's always kind of been a priority, keeping everyone moving. So, but I don't foresee the first citizen one so well. Especially with, a couple of weeks.
Follow, this follow? Okay, thank you. All right, so, and I'm sure you have, but, looking into some of the retirees, that they, if we grab them for, 1 or 2 days a week as they're, exiting out, I've thought about this, but I've talked to other retirees, when they first get into it, they're a little, some might want to gradually step away and not leave us hanging. I mean, just an option. I appreciate all you do and it's hard work. I just don't want added stress onto you where you decide, you know what, I got to retire now because we need you. All right.
Any other questions or comments? None? Okay, privilege for public comment. Helps. If not,
Thanks, Charlie. Keep up the great work.
Well, thank you.
okay, we'll get into Mr. Wardell. All right. So after the budget reviewing, there was one change to the comment. Revenue, so that was changed. 13,500 to 20,000. Two inspection fees and taxes. To increase the actual economic assistance, which is what the state reimburses us through my historical farming program, fuel samples. They added an extra month this year. So we're adding another $500 for that. We go down, part-time salaries, keeping that in the budget of $1,000. Keep it part-time position there. I added $200 for supplies. So everything is price. A liability, I added $175 more to that because yes, last 2 previous years has been overall what the plan. Repairing equipment is $500 more than last year because this year I put down in New York State and Albany and have these times. All the supplies and repair has increased $500 because the truck needs 4 tires and the shop level is $500 for that.
$500 for tires.
That's
according to,
according to, I think they get a good deal.
well, I hope they get more than 5 miles out of them. Jeez.
Well, it might be a little more. But that's what I was quoted. Told by yeah, $200.
Yeah.
And the unknown gas and oil I added $150 to. That is for that extra month of fuel costs, which is going to have you travel a little more and the price of food has gone up. And who knows. And that is about it. It's my budget.
Any questions or comments? Supervisor.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You know how I like to speak, but I also like to recognize a good job and what you do for that department. I have advocated before of possibly increasing your salary a little. And going to, and this is really the time that we should look at that. Now, I look at your revenue, which is really, at one time was it 8 grand? I think it was $8,000 that you brought in. Now, I'm seeing a revenue in 22 of, what, 29,000?
Yeah.
What you have brought to this department and the inspections, that you have increased and how much more you're doing. I think you're doing a phenomenal job, and I've been behind you and I have pushed for you. So, as being a committee member, I really would like to see if there's a possibility within this budget that we could increase you a little bit more, to keep you motivated and pushing, because I really, the time that you've been here with the county, but really what you have done in this department to me is kudos. I have followed you from day one, and I've been behind you. We've talked when I was chair, and I just really think the other members ought to realize what he's done and the revenue that you have brought in to this county. And I'd like to see us, boost you a little bit.
Appreciate it.
And I should have spoke to my chairman before, but not trying to throw that on him, but with all due respect, Chairman Bruno, what do you think?
Put it out to the member of the committee. I don't put on the.
Well, I asked, has anybody else followed what Mr. Waddell has done for the county and what he's done for Weights and Measures?
I think you kind of what of the job. What do you have in mind for them? Just a salary? Well, I did put in a request there. For a salary increase this year. Reviewing the amount, but it kind of coincided with the 20-year increment. On salary schedule. Pretty much asked to be a 20-year. If you take what's up in the phone, it tells you the average salary or inspector, with the main inspector.
So the big one I see, the 137,315, that's a class 2 director, but that's a pushing a little high. I know we just gave employees a big hunk last year that really put a dip in our budget for sure. But I mean, right now you're at that figure,
No, I wouldn't ask for that. That's not grand salary.
well, I know you wouldn't do that. I just needed to put it out there, but I mean, you have down here at 79. All right, from 73.2.
Right.
I feel comfortable with that for the work that you do and the hard work that you do. And like I said, I always know when that truck's on the road, so, I feel comfortable at 79, but that's just me as one committee member.
Okay, I still want to hear from the county administrator.
Thank you, Chairman. I would say that salary request is in the budget that has gone to the budget officer. So all the salary requests will have to be looked at as we go through the process. One note about $6 million over the half right now. But this request is in the building.
What, 6,000?
It's exactly what that. It's up for review. And it's up for final review as we go through the salary, the salary increase. We have to determine what we can afford and what else we have to do. So no decision finally, but the number is in.
Well, unfortunately, I've heard this for years of, blah, 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 and I've been an advocate for Jeff, really, from just after the first year that he took in something that he knew nothing really of, and we gave him the position and took off running and pushing. So, I will be following through, and I would like to, put this on the top as, you know, not that we're thinking about it, that we actually are thinking about it because of the revenue increase that he's brought. I could justify that. We just give $100,000 to a, you know, a national, animal shelter group that has directors that make huge money, you know, and I'm asking for 6,000 for someone that's, you know, brought our $8,000 revenue up to, you know, $30,000. So 6,000, I don't think it's an unjust amount to give them. So I will be following through, and I don't mean to sound stern on this, but
That's
you
fine.
know, we've kicked this can down the road a while for me, and sometimes I get tired of seeing it go down the road.
Okay. Supervisor Diamond.
Just a suggestion to Mr. Allen's point. Would it make sense to have a resolution on the committee? And then I think we should do the opportunity of the
I thank you for your seeing knowledge and years in this. I think that's the proper way to handle it. Thank you. I would like to bring that resolution forward.
Sorry,
He'd like to bring a resolution to the floor of the committee.
we're not gonna make a resolution.
So that, you know, this request is already with the budget officer. You wouldn't be making a resolution, you're making a recommendation to the budget
Okay.
officer, so that the end of the day, will please consider that.
So I changed my wording to, I would like to make a recommendation to the budget officer for this increase for, on the budget for, weights and measures.
I'll second.
Supervisor Connolly.
Well, we're not budgeting.
On to the committee. Individual employees. Two board members, when we get the draft, which is to amend that. Oh, we should change that.
But pretty, what, if I do amend this budget?
That was, we haven't got the amendment to the budget yet. Budget will be presented at some point in time by the board. At that time, if there's something there that you up or down, if you don't, you can't support, you could issue a proposed change to that budget at that point in time. I think that reducing our committees to dealing with individual adjustments, how the employees. Opposed to any pro- Any member making adjustments.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I don't see any harm at all. Making a recommendation to be move to the budget officer. But it shows that the emphasis is put on that position. Improvement. Okay. I'll, we can make a recommendation to the budget officer. Just a minute. Are there any committee members who object to this recommendation? Supervisor Connolly?
I do, and then it's made into a motion,
Not a motion.
not opposed to this, but it's made into. No, I don't believe that.
Not going to be a motion. All it will be is gauging sentiment for this committee. with respect to the Woodall salary and a possible increase. So if the committee, is amenable to that, then we can just say that we'd like to see Mr. Woodall increase, and we'll leave it at that. Motion.
You have a motion by Mr. McGowan, second by Mr. Diamond, to make a recommendation to the budget officer to consider the salary increase requested by Mr. Woodall. So,
Okay. So,
So do we pull that back or? Can I,
sure.
that's really, I supervisor Carlver and supervisor. I did not mean to show any disrespect, really just not knowing the process, because over the years I've been really confused sometimes of the process, because, you know, it always seems to change. And I'm not saying that in a negative way, but I'm just reaching out with my apologies, it's not showing any disrespect for the process of handling it. Sometimes, you know, they might be a little bigger.
Okay. What I'd like to do is withdraw the motion. I think yeah. Okay. This. Oh. I am. And recommendations, so we'll see. So based on the consensus of this committee, that's the state will make a recommendation to budget officer. So, do we make that recommendation? Follow up. Okay. All right, well, I appreciate the support and thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
Appreciate it. Okay. Next, page airport. Yeah. And, let's do that.
So agenda one, President Salinas, action as appropriate to reserve your appropriate journal project, A19, increase by the code A 9950 transfer the capital project to fund capital project H416, replacement for bus stopping renovation 19. We're transferring the local plan 13,000.
Supervisor Strauss. Supervisor Brown, second. Question, comments? Supervisor Brown.
What is a PACI, precinct approach indicator? So when the aircraft are landing, is a visual indicator.
Kind of important,
Thank you.
Any other comments? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Councilor Item.
So you're quite able to receive a final determination from the FAA regarding the form. Regarding the project, determination of the no applicant application. Page 7 is document. The impacts of the DFR visual flight rules. The impact on arrival, departure, and other procedures for aircraft operating under visual flight rules, DFR, none. Impact on arrival, departure, and other procedures for aircraft operating on IFR visual flight rules, none. The impact on all planned public use airports will not be facilities, none. Therefore, this project does not constitute a threat to the safety of the airport operation. Regarding the project was linked with what attention. We submitted 3 different designs, all received similar reviews. They included a fairway part of the questions, comments, concerns regarding the determination or proposed design for the discovered parcel.
I just want to add, last month we did the assignment of lease agreement from Nexamp with Southern and Northern Gateway Utilities. I believe later they were signed. And now we need to keep forward with their financing to get everything in place. To make it construction. Most likely they will not start construction this fall, it will be in the spring. And that would be for both parcels. North and
That's the question I was gonna ask, so thank you, but, driving around, especially where I went, apple picking and out there, that's where they have a huge, it's not near an airport, but it's amazing, but all the panels are up, the poles and everything, except for the, one of the last poles before it hits the road, so wires are thrown up ready to hook in, but it's just amazing how they are erecting all over the place. And it's a great thing. I happen to sign up for the Nexamp community solar, and it was a little different. I was wondering why my next annual bill went down so much, but they bill you directly. But with the savings, I think it's a great move. So I'd like to see it start to generate. So it's a long time coming. So thank you.
If there's no other questions, that's okay.
so I guess I'd like to know the flavor of the committee. I can do all of facility budget at one time, or we can break them up and do airport and buildings and grounds separate. I didn't know if you wanted me to just do airport now and go to buildings and grounds, or just move on.
In the head? Ground.
Program.
4 made with the cars that we have. Get rid of them, then keep pumping a lot of fun.
Okay. Everybody know, so the roof replacement is currently underway. It should be completed by October 6th. All of it is occupied. The west wing will be completed by 9/25. Time residents will be moved back over to that. We're gonna take it gradual this time because we don't have to all at one time. So we will have the vote going, ground staff going up. The building ground staff on the side. The common areas and the administration area renovations are underway, with completion sometime probably by the end of October. Regional board. Regional board update, we had a meeting with the representative, Art Patterson, our consultant. And where will their stuff, Dan, you were part of that meeting, they previewed the data that they collected from all the other counties. We are currently, and I didn't want to do it in this month's meeting because we have budget, but next month they come back and all of that they collected, and an analysis of the next step or basically where or what we should do with the board. They looked at two alternatives. They looked at an alternative of having it here in the old jail facility as well as a standalone facility. So we will have them come back with kind of a 10-minute presentation to the committee to show them what they found, along with budget numbers. And then at that point, we will start reaching out to the counties who would like to participate and see where we go from there. So that would be at the next committee. Through the presentation. Our museum, we changes and then we'll come back with a we will call the EFP plan specifications and estimates, which will then be put out to bid and see what the cost for our goal is to have this completed by 2025. We feel that if we get to bid this winter and get a contract on this spring, providing the funding is there, that they should be for the 2025 budget. And budget. Yeah, so there's a real quick one. So the Warren County Municipal Center site plans, from our last committee meeting, everybody that provided their comments, we had given those comments back to our consultant, and they are due to have everything back to us by the end of next week. From the site plan renderings and estimates. First one will focus on, of course, is the area, and then we can, as I discussed in my budget meeting, through the years, we can pick and choose kind of see Brian's world. But we can pick out certain areas and actually break it out around that. So we take maybe the DMV area next year. And I want to see reconstruction meeting will be held in the beginning of March. We'll see the schedules from our prime contractors at that point. We're probably a contract completion by March, April 2024. Be the final phase.
We started back on. Waiting on. No, actually, let me touch base on that right now. So, last Tuesday, I got a call from the chief over in courts. The magnetometer they had one available to us, which was down at City of Glens Falls. So we went and picked up the magnetometer. We have it here now. We are ready to basically plug it in. The next step would be manning. That's not my department. But we will certainly put the magnetometer in place down by DMV that was requested. And from that point, of course, it has to be monitored by someone. So I think that would fall back. There for farm. So they have security down there now. You know,
This will be on the village ground. You and I met over here. Courthouse State. With the tree issues, I have heard another tree has come down. I don't know if you're aware. But how are we moving on with taking care of our trees on our properties that are falling across the courthouse State?
Yeah,
John.
yeah, I'll talk to that a little bit. So there are trees maybe on the backside of the sheriff area that are looking at the fall. I don't know if they put a burden on him necessarily, but we had, Jim Lee from Warren County Soil and Water review the trees throughout there. Believe it or not, Jim came back and presented us with a letter that said there are more trees in their development that are aged or deteriorating than ones that we have on our area in the woods between us and our house. With that being said, Scott has reached out to an arborist. The arborist, they were here yesterday, coming in next week. Jim's suggestion was, well, we shouldn't be taking down a lot of trees when you're doing it. But again, I want an arborist to say, tell us the same thing, look at, take a look at the trees that are out there. But Jim has said, the more trees you take out, you're gonna cause them, then you're gonna cause them to fall. Other trees that may be damaged trees that are towards the center. The bottom line is, let the arborist take a look, then, but not recommending.
Have we relayed this over to
We haven't yet because I want to wait till the arborist comes in and I want farmer decision by the arborist. Jim's,
so I guess my question would be, for the counties, it's the county trees, but also Queensbury is, why does John McCormick have to cut up the trees to get them out of the road?
he's cut him up out of the road. That's been not research. And John shouldn't do the tree come across the town road. No different than a tree came across the back of the Leland Estates. We just had a tree come across, landed on the power lines. We waited for National Grid to take the power line to cut the power. We removed the tree. The county did, so it's not a county road. That should be the town. It shouldn't be down the responsibility.
Well, I'm not saying maybe movement, but like at least opens up the road, so because there's only one way in and one way out, and if I have to fall past the first entrance, then we're in trouble. So I just, we had the walk, we did the walkthrough, I was just doing a follow-up on it, because, yeah, I believe in the pickup sticks, like I said, you start taking, the inner ones are actually weaker than the outer ones because of the root structures and I've seen that in the past, so I just.
But again, I want to wait till we'll go through the arborist next week. He may get Mark Tree and say just this and this, and those will take out. I'll have to get a contract in place to do that, meaning I'll have to put them on the bid. Because from my service provider agreement, we've already exceeded $20,000 with the tree.
Right.
Thank you. So, I think, budget.
Absolutely. So I guess I will start with county utility putting the ground. I think that everybody has. And Betsy brought budgets for the, everybody here can have. budgets. So I'll start with 1610 with fleet management. Minimal increase due to auto repair, gas and oil, and that's just based on the. As far as 1620 buildings, minimum increase in repair and maintenance of buildings, mainly heat pump maintenance. Scott and I have been working on doing just a short extension with Siemens under a time and material contract, not to exceed, which I will bring probably to the next month, to get us through to March when we update all the contracts. Right now, we have a Siemens contract, 15-year contract that ends the end of this year. We also have those one. What we're going to do is put out an RFP with that profile for the monitoring of the entire center as well as HSB. But I think if I do this 6-month extension, Siemens right now, that will get me through when their contract expires in March. It'll only be, as I said, time material and not to exceed, and Scott will be monitoring that so that there will be no, they'll only come in. Very closely monitored. So that would be the increase in kind of the heat pump and the HVAC contract. But again, we're gonna have an opportunity for them moving forward as we get to. And to follow up on that, the RFP will work with Park Pack on their energy side of that focus firm to help us put together two RFPs to do that monitoring.
Yeah, question. What were some of the department committee budget committee meetings? There was some confusion of what the department was responsible for versus what is still HVAC, other infrastructure, employees. Does your office take care of all of that, or is the responsibility?
No, our office takes care of maintenance of every building. So if there's an issue within public defender's office, maybe a key issue that our staff might not be able to handle, that's when you would fall in. They would have Stevens come in. But everything we do with building is what?
Frank, am I mistaken that remember in the sheriff's
Oh, you're talking about the sheriff's office? Different story. They have their own maintenance staff.
It's ours, but not ours.
And yes, that's our, right, and they do have their own maintenance staff over there. But they do use some of our contracts when it comes to any type of plumbing issues or anything like that, and their staff can't, they'll use our county contract, which is our term agreement contract. We have a term agreement for HVAC, plumbing, electrical. If their maintenance staff can't do the work over there, and they come to us or use my contract. What we do that again. Term agreements that I put out here for HVAC cover every building, including the sheriff. And Countryside for that matter. We've done service provider agreements out to help Countryside out with some of the things they have. And Betsy kind of reminded me that we don't, under Countryside, they have a maintenance person there. They have a maintenance budget there, but we assist. In fact, we talked about it last couple of years, and I think even in this committee, is that Scott Mosier, who is their current maintenance staff, has been working kind of under Scott as to, keeping up on maintenance, what should be done for monthly, yearly, maintenance issues. So we've been working closely with them, but again, it's their own budget that they have for the work that's done. And again, they use us for their, providing their. The next item on there was 1621, and that's building number 11, and that's an increase by $150,000, and that would I'll let the budget off talk to that, like, but that would be moved towards construction of the building.
I have a question. What, something go well? I know you do the maintenance in your time, a year prior. So
The last one I have on there is increase salary benefits, and then there will be added contract for what seems that somebody else got to be in mind. Covers county facilities, buildings and grounds, and then the other one, discussion with county facilities airport. There is definitely an increase in airport, and part of it is 2 runway lights. And then, of course, supplies for the fluorine-free foam. Foam that is, so we hope to next year, taking that revenue, once the facilities are built for next year, so that will increase the revenues for the airport. Possibility of late next year or early 2025, we will have to. Budget, that's it. One last thing to, I guess, unless anybody has any questions, balloon fest starts tomorrow. Oh, you're volunteering for balloon fest?
was on the airport. The first one memory was when was it?
So John Michael's Way happens to be the road that goes into the airport where Great One Falls Transit bus. That is considered airport property. It's not considered a road. And that road is in very poor shape, and that's for us to basically reconstruct that road. So it's a county road, but it's not road, it's airport property. That's why it's all under the, so it's not considered technically a road, so it wouldn't fall in how long. But eighth of a mile, yeah, it's okay, but yeah. It's a full depth reconstruction. So there's some base on that road, frame is very poor shape. And you know the airport is right. And based on the borings that we took, there's a very, very poor subbase on there. We hope to be able to do it at less of a cost, but that's what I budgeted on.
How long's that road?
Hang on. What's your budget, Tom, over?
That's my memory. So, yeah.
The hangars up there, those are northern hangars, and then they're accessed by So these use of those hangers, they access that road all the time. So it's used by anybody who has a hanger up top, they use it as well as they're going to transit or. Oh, that's what I'm, yeah.
When was that road built? You have an idea?
I actually don't.
And will Glens Falls Transit still be using that road for their?
We will.
You know, I guess my question is, we gotta look at the weight and what travels it, and, you know, a lot of it is just cars and trucks that are going to the T hangers and stuff like that, because, you know, I've been down the road, so you know, my concern is, you know, do we have to, you know, put a 2-foot sub base there to, have a road that's gonna last, you know, 200 years, over the amount of travel? It's not like a main road where you have tractor trailers going up and down, you know, 15,000 a day in cars, you know what I'm saying? So I just,
So the majority of the road, or the majority of the damage to the road is the first half of the road. We're very much all kinds of stuff. Based on the four subdivisions in that area, that's why the bond is the way it is. It's required. Based on these evaluations we've done, pull that reservation, do something, not 2 feet, and that road will only last 20 years. I wish we could get a road last. That would be great.
that's really, you know, because I'm pretty sure that road was put in back, back in the day when the airport was built.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was added on to as the airport expanded, so, you know, it's been there a long time, and, you know, it just, you know,
And again, it's
just feeling responsible for the budget off.
And again, it's under the airport, it's not considered a road, even, so it's named as something that's part of airport property, so it can't fall under the D fund for roads. It has to fall under the airport fund.
And is this something we go after the DDTA to maybe help the cost?
I'll look at county administrator Kaplan, let him.
But we'll look into, you know me, I love revenue streams.
Boom. Boom. Go.
Hey, anything else? All right,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The repairs station, does that fall under practical ground
Falls to the park.
Any chance of making that out? Third property.
I was gonna talk about this during, public works, but we're doing the RFP for the railroad. Still working through it because we're kind of just doing it as the best value method. Part of that RFP will include all the stations, including repairs. So that would fall under that as being, a lease as well as the other stations will go on with it.
anything else? Floor, public comment,
I'll go back to what I was saying before. Balloons that started last night. They had their event at Highland. Not sure if any of you were able to attend, but attended. Tonight they will be at Randall Park, and then starting tomorrow, they will be at the airport. I certainly want to say thank you to a couple volunteers here, and if anybody else would still like to volunteer, please let them know. I'm really needing help for Saturday night. Thank you.
I'll be there, Bill.
I know you will.
business. Motion adjourned. So, Fowler, second by Diamond, all in favor. Thank you.